Think living in a small town is always cheaper? Well, Kerrville, Texas might just surprise you. Let's go ahead and dive into the real cost of living in this charming hill country gem. Ryan Rendon Realty Group, your favorite realtor right here in the Texas Hill Country. Today we are exploring Kerrville, Texas, a town known for its natural beauty and vibrant community, but what is it like really living here, financially speaking? Stay tuned as we break down the cost of housing and your everyday morning coffee. First, let's go ahead and talk about housing. So Kerrville, the picturesque town in the heart of the Texas Hill Country, has seen its real estate market slow down in many ways over the past year and a half. The average sales price for the entire year of 2023 came in just above $433,000. Today, we have 10 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom rentals on the market here in Kerrville with an average rental rate of just under $2,500 a month. But real quickly, let's go ahead and see what you can get for right around the average sales price here in Kerrville. Okay, so looking at this home at 105 Sherwood Lane, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home with just under 2,500 square feet, built in 1976. Okay, stepping inside this inviting home, you will notice the open floor plan, perfect for entertaining. And then it looks like the living room features a cathedral ceiling and a cozy fireplace. The kitchen offers light wood cabinets and great prep space for all those meals. And now moving into the primary bedroom, it boasts light colored wood-like flooring and a nice little ensuite bath. This home also has a nice spacious indoor sunroom and a covered patio, providing additional living and relaxation space. Now, the type of home that you can get for right around this average sales price in Kerrville can vary by quite a bit. You can get a historical home close to Main Street in downtown with only 2 bedrooms, 1 bath for close to $450,000. And then you can get another house like this one on Encino Drive, which is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on over 2 acres. But I would say if you're interested in diving a little deeper into the type of home or ranch that you can get in or around Kerrville, I would say just give me a call, shoot me a text, or shoot me an email. All my contact information is down below. Also, what does a monthly mortgage look like for a house costing right around $433,000 here in Kerrville? Well, let's go ahead and hop over to nerdwallet.com to use their mortgage calculator to see what it spits out for us. So if we type in a sales price of $433,000 with a 5% down payment, property taxes being right around $442 a month, and then the home insurance sitting right at $166 a month, and of course an interest rate of right around 6.5%, you're looking at a monthly mortgage payment of $3,379 per month. And then going back to what the average rental rate was for 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes right here in Kerrville, which again was right around $2,500 a month. Depending on your stage of life, it actually may be better for you to rent a home rather than to buy. But again, that just depends on your financial obligations. Maybe you can just wait until those interest rates come back down. Obviously, we have no idea when that's going to happen, but the only problem with renting is, we all know you don't get that money back. You're literally paying for somebody else's mortgage. On the other hand, if you're okay with paying these higher interest rates, you can go ahead and refinance later on down the road once those interest rates do drop back down. But obviously, like I just mentioned earlier, we have no idea when that's going to happen. So you have to be okay with paying this monthly mortgage payment for the next 2, 5, 10 years, who knows? And when those rates do drop back down, you can refinance, and that will obviously bring your monthly mortgage down. But I do want to point something out real quick. This is the average sales price, $433,000. You can find plenty of homes below the average sales price, but also plenty of houses above the average sales price. I just want to give you a good idea of what the average is so you can know what to expect coming into Kerrville. Okay, so let's go ahead and transition over to the daily cost of living here in Kerrville. Okay, so just imagine starting your day off with a latte from Pax Coffee Shop costing right around $4 to $5.50 a piece, just a bit above the average, but that's the Texas Hill Country for you. And then heading over to the H-E-B, you will find milk for right around $3.75. Bread is at $2.50. Of course, that's going to depend on what type of bread you get. And then eggs is right around $3.08 for a carton of 18, which is pretty reasonable and a bit lower than the national average. H-E-B also has a great selection of vegetables and produce, but if you're looking for something a little bit maybe more fresh, I mean, I would say H-E-B is definitely fresh vegetables and produce, but for something a little more local and homegrown, I would definitely check out the Kerrville's Farmers Market. That is the place to be. Although prices like $3 for organic carrots and $2.75 for local tomatoes are a tad higher, they do reflect the quality of our local produce. And then dining out, let's say Rails Cafe is going to run you right around $15 a person. That's of course if you don't have an alcoholic beverage. And of course that is a little more than usual, but that does give you a taste of Kerrville's culinary scene. And then quick meals at fast food joints like McDonald's average right around $8, right in line with what you can expect nationwide. A trip to Walgreens shows that toothpaste and shampoo are priced right around $3 to $5 respectively. So overall, living in Kerrville does have its unique cost, blending Texas averages with the distinct lifestyle of this charming hill country town. Now let's go ahead and talk about the utilities. So here in Kerrville, utility costs offer a mixed bag. So water rates start with a monthly fee of $17.60 plus usage charges that begin at $3.51 per 1,000 gallons after the first free 1,000 gallons. And then sewer services charges $16.50 monthly, including the first 1,000 gallons with an additional usage bill at $5.83 per 1,000 gallons. And then garbage collection is pretty straightforward, sitting at $24.37 per month. And then the electricity provided by K-Pub averages right around $102.50 for a typical usage of 1,000 kilowatts. That includes a power supply charge of $70.45, a distribution charge of $16.80, and a customer charge of $15.25. You may also be pleased to hear that K-Pub's electricity rates are 37% lower than the US average and 29% lower than the Texas average. Now, transitioning from the utility cost to another crucial aspect of living here in Kerrville, and that is the healthcare cost. So the health cost index for Kerrville, Texas sits at right at 104.9. which indicates that the Kerrville health costs are slightly above the nation's averages, but also the Texas averages according to bestplaces.com. And of course, this encompasses a wide range of medical costs, such as a visit to a general practitioner can cost between $100 to $200 without insurance, and insured patients might face co-pays from $20 to $50. And then dental care, another essential healthcare service, sees routine checkups priced right around $50 to $100, with more complex procedures costing much more than that. And of course, prescription medications also add to these overall healthcare costs, with prices varying significantly from as low as $10 for common drugs to several $100s for specialized treatments. And then emergency services, hopefully pretty infrequent for you and your family, can range anywhere from $150 up to way more than that, depending on the scope of the injury. And then on top of these expenses, the healthcare premiums for the Kerrville area can range anywhere from $300 to $500 a month. These figures underscore the importance of considering the healthcare costs in context with the overall living expenses in Kerrville, Texas, especially how high the healthcare index is that we discussed earlier. Okay, so moving along from those healthcare costs to another significant aspect of the cost of living here in Kerrville, and that is the childcare cost. So as of January 2024, the average base rate for childcare providers in Kerrville is $17.30 per hour, according to care.com. This rate is about 4% higher than the Texas average of $16.65 per hour and slightly lower than the national average, which is $17.86 per hour. So for a 40-hour work week, the weekly costs for childcare are going to run you right around $692 per week, which translates to just under $2,300 per month for 130 hours worked. These rates reflect our local market conditions and the level of experience and services offered by childcare providers in our area. With close to 36 childcare providers listed in Kerrville, the average experience for nearby childcare providers is 5 years, ensuring a range of options for families seeking quality care for their children. This information is super important for those of you considering a move to Kerrville who have children, because we all know how crucial it is to budget this correctly into your monthly expenses. Now, after examining the cost for childcare here in Kerrville, it's really important to understand the difference in cost of living in comparison to nearby towns like Fredericksburg, Boerne, Wimberley, and Canyon Lake. And according to bestplaces.com, the overall cost of living index is actually quite a bit lower than all 4 of these towns. In Wimberley, for instance, the cost of living is significantly higher than in Kerrville. A salary of $100,000 in Kerrville would need to increase to right around $143,000 to maintain the same standard of living in Wimberley, with the median home cost being 54% more expensive in Wimberley. Now, comparing Kerrville to Canyon Lake, another popular hill country town, the cost of living in Canyon Lake is also higher. To maintain the same standard of living, a $100,000 salary in Kerrville would need to increase to $117,000 in Canyon Lake, where the median home cost is 15% more expensive. And then just next door in Boerne, with the cost of living being quite a bit higher than in Kerrville, a salary of $100,000 in Kerrville would need to be around $133,000 in Boerne, with the housing cost being a significant factor, as the median home cost in Boerne is 51% more expensive than in Kerrville. And then lastly, when compared to Fredericksburg, the town I actually graduated high school from, Kerrville once again is more affordable. To match a Kerrville salary of $100,000, one would need to make $113,000 in Fredericksburg, where the median home cost is 59% more expensive. This information is crucial for anyone considering a move to or within our region of Texas. It helps shed some light on how far your money can go within each one of these unique hill country towns. All right, guys, I want to hear from you. What did you think of these costs of living here in Kerrville, Texas? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere around the Texas Hill Country, I would love to be your realtor of choice. All my contact information is above, but also down in the description. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, but also hit that little bell so you can get notified anytime I put out videos just like this one. And make sure you watch this next video. I think you're really gonna like it. We'll see you in the next video.